Hey, hey,
Up.
hey, we are back on Thursday, just like you said.
Yes. I'm so proud of us. I don't know what to do.
Me too. Let's
I
talk.
am completely proud of us because we supposed to drop the ball. We ain't dropped the ball yet. I got a little worried when time was getting close. I was like, I ain't seeing him post nothing. I don't reckon told to sleep.
You know what? I've been running all day, but I said, as long as you put it out there to say we're going to do this, we're going to do this.
Yeah, I thought you had fell asleep on it. Then around 10 till, I seen where you had checked it. I was like, oh, okay, I see it.
I'm here. Let's talk.
You
I know somebody out there is almost ready. So look, how about we just leave it open? Anybody want to ask us any questions about our promo? We can take
okay?
the time to just tell them about what we have to offer. If it's anybody out there, then we'll just talk about what we're going to talk about, right?
Okay, now I'm having a little bit of for some reason, my Facebook, I don't think my Facebook is, it's still saying upcoming. So I don't know what I did wrong with this. Uh, so yeah, we might just be on Facebook tonight because it looks like
Okay.
my YouTube. Well, you sharing on YouTube, aren't
Yeah.
you? Okay, we good.
Okay.
Okay, so I get distracted so easily when it comes to this. It's like if it ain't right, it bothers me.
Mm.
So what do I do? It might be finna work. Mm, okay, well, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, we can't worry about it. Got to keep the ball rolling. Ain't nobody the devil. Let's
Ain't
keep it
nothing
rocking.
but
Let's talk about it. Let's talk
okay.
about this money, this
Uh,
promo.
yeah. Okay. Before we start the promo talk, let me introduce myself and my business partner over here. I am, as you see on the screen down here, Mel, the home-based business owner.
Mm.
I have been a home-based business owner for 8 years this month. And today is the second day of November. So let me also say shout out to the Sigma Gamma Rose because it is the beginning of November
Okay.
because we were founded in November 1922. So get prepared to get sick of us on your timeline because you're going
Okay.
to see blue and gold every which way. So
Cool, cool.
throw that out. Okay,
Okay.
so now, old folks, what else can I say? Oh yeah. I've been doing this for 8 years. And what
Hmm.
is my business, you ask? I'm glad y'all asked me.
Right.
My
What's your business?
home-based business is a financial success company. What do I mean by that? I mean that I signed up in this business to do just what Professor Clopton over here and I are doing right now. We are sharing information to help you get financial success, introducing you to this product so you can also become a home-based business owner and experience all of the joy that comes with owning your own business with half, probably less than half or more than half ago of the stress of like a brick and mortar business.
Hmm. Right.
This business we take with us wherever we go. And you know why? Because it's digital. It's
Ooh.
on our phones. We
Yeah.
can be in the airport. Uh, if it's Tony, he could be somewhere in Puerto Rico. Me, I don't travel like that. So I could be right here in Madison, Alabama. And even if I'm at the grocery store, I can go live and conduct business
Mm.
however I need to. So, like I said, I've been doing this now for 8 years. I was introduced to this fabulous business by my co host over here, Professor Tony Clopton. I like to call him Fessel. And I call him Fessel because he has a PhD in money. And where he got it from? Not Yale, not Harvard, none of them. He got it from the School of Hard Knocks, aka Life and this business. Introduce yourself further.
Okay, further, I'll take myself a little bit further. Like Melissa says, I've been around in this game for about 8 years as well, but I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. I knew that I need to be making some money outside of my job, not like Melissa over there. She has a college degree. I don't have one. And I'm so very thankful that I don't have the college student loan debt that goes along with it, like some folks I know. I ain't saying she do, but I know it's a lot of people out there has racked up a lot of student loan debts and they're trying to figure out how they're going to pay some of that debt off. But this company has a system that can help people get over the financial hurdles and some of that debt that you've mounted up waiting on that fantastic job that they say you was going to get, right? So I'm just blessed to be able to share some information that I've learned from this membership to be able to share with you today. Back to you, Melissa.
All right, let me make sure I got my comments up here so I can see any comments. I don't see any yet, but okay. So, when we talked to you on Tuesday, we started telling you about our promo for the end of the year. But guess what? We still talking about that promo.
Yep.
Why are we still talking about that promo? Tell them what's so great about it, Tony.
What's so great about this promo is that we know it's going to help a lot of people, just like it has helped them from years back. People are paying off debt, paying off student loans. They're even increasing their credit scores. They're even getting some tax savings going over into the next year because we know people love those refund checks. So how can you increase it? You can actually join a business, and that business we're talking about is myEcon, which is going to increase your refund if you want it, and it'll also put more money back in your pocket. That's what we're doing in this promo. Yeah, that's the best place. You work for the money. You're supposed to be getting the money and reaping all the benefits. So we offer this membership at the end of the year because we know people are going to struggle. This is like high traffic for big business to come in and start digging in your pockets. They're going to be preying on those emotion strings. You know, got to get the turkey and the ham and the Christmas gifts and all of that stuff that takes money a lot of times that we don't have. So our business was designed to help us get cash flow positive and stay cash flow positive for a little bit of money. And that's what we're excited about with this promo.
Exactly. Right now, you can get started for $9.95. But if you know the right people, meaning me and I don't even know this one over here, you just might be able to get started for, I don't want to say it too loud. So I want y'all to think about that. $9.95 for something that could bring thousands back into your pocket. How is it going to bring me thousands, you ask? It's going to bring you thousands because you're going to be adding multiple streams of income. I think I said Tuesday night, multiple streams of income does not mean multiple jobs. It means multiple ways of bringing income back into your house. And one of the best ways to do it is not getting it out in the first place. Keep it. It's yours. So, it's funny. I was doing, I think I mentioned, I started this story, but I had those senile moments where I started talking about one something, and then next thing you know, I done drifted all the way around the world and forgot what I started out talking about. So, Monday, I was doing my, annual enrollment for benefits. And if you work a W-4 job, because I have a home-based business, but I have not made it to the point where I live entirely off my home-based business. So I do have to clock in, and they want me to do some work. I don't know. Anyway, so every year, most companies offer open enrollment, and open enrollment is usually your benefits package, your medical, your dental, your vision, all of that stuff. So one of the things that always annoyed me as a W-2 employee was, especially when I first started working, they would give us a raise, right? So whatever your annual salary was, at the max, you might get At the max, you might get 3%. But
Okay.
for the most part, you probably gonna get 2. And I ain't gonna lie, it was sometime when we were going through, depending on where the job is, and I work in the medical arena, so people always gonna be sick, but they still had times when they said, "Look, we're not gonna be able to do a raise this year," and I'm like, the ambulance is still running. Every time I turn around, somebody check me. So why we not getting no raise? But there were times when we didn't. But when we did get them, let's say your raise is 2% and you make 50,000. It's after 5 o'clock and I don't get paid that. And this late in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So 50,000, 2%, what is it, like $100, $1,000?
Okay. If that, right.
But the whole point of it is they gonna take that sum and split it up in 26 paychecks. So
Okay.
at the most, you might, depending on what percent you get, be seeing an extra. I'm gonna be generous and say $25 per paycheck.
Okay.
So, all right, you're like, well, $25 is better than nothing. That's $50 a month. Then you turn around and have open enrollment, and they tell you, guess what? Your premiums went up by $50.
Right.
So you done canceled out whatever raise you got, and it just
Right.
always just seems so unfair. But one thing that I learned since starting this home-based business is you still have options. Like Tony was saying, you give your own self a pay raise. You ain't gotta wait on them to give you that 2 or 3%. If you have a home-based business and you understand how taxes and deductions work, you can give yourself a raise. When I first started with myEcon, I completed that's one of the big things. We teach you how to correct your W-4. Tell them what the W-4 is.
Okay. The purpose of the W-4 is to tell your employer how much to withhold from your pay. Now, it is up to you when your personal or financial situation changes. Let's break it down. Situation changes. You could have a baby. You could buy a house. You could have an increase in pay, a decrease in pay. You could have some medical bills. You could even start a business. And this is why you should always adjust your W-4 based on your current personal situation.
Yeah, and we can't see you out there, but raise your hand if when you filled out the W-4, and the W-4 is a little form that where they used to ask you about allowances and you get the little line. Raise your hand if you filled that out when you first started working your job and you ain't looked at it since. I see all them hands going up out there. And it's because they don't tell you. I mean, it says it on the form. I think that you are supposed to update it when you have changes. But how do you know what qualifies as a change? Hey, Jamie Austin, thank you for coming through. So it's like, okay, they're telling you if your situation changed. Well, what do you mean if I change departments I work in? If I change my
Draws?
right?
Change my underwear? What you talking about?
We don't know what the change you're talking about. So even if they told you to do it, you still sitting there with questions. And it's not, and HR will tell you too, it is not their responsibility to call you and be like, oh, I see on Facebook where you got married. You need to update your W-4, don't you? They're not gonna do that. Or it could be, I saw that your child, the post that your child graduated from high school. I know that means you ain't gonna be able to claim them now. You might want to consider updating that form. They're not gonna do it. It is your responsibility. You know why? Because you doing that is not gonna affect them in no type of way. That's your money. So whether you want to go on and let them take all of it out, take more than enough out, not take enough out, they said that's between you and Uncle Sam. But the W-4 is what allows you to make those changes. And I know you're sitting there thinking, yeah, but they're not gonna let me just go in there and make changes. Oh, they will. You can go in there and tell them, I don't want you to take another dime tax-wise. I ain't talking about FICA and all that other stuff. But as far as your taxes, you can tell them don't take nothing out, not one single solitary penny. So when you get paid, you'll be feeling pretty good. But you
You
ain't
know
got no
what?
money with it.
I'm gonna say this. I think with the number of years I've been in my job, I've always heard people that like to go in and adjust it, especially at the end of the year. They want to get more money back in their paycheck. They'll go in and say, "I'm just gonna go exempt." That means they ain't taking no taxes out. They do that because they know that they're gonna need more money for presents and gifts and kicking it and having fun and all of that stuff. They don't realize that was a strategy move that you made because you
Right,
knew that you could get more money, but you have to do it the right way. There's the
right.
right way and the wrong way to do anything. So now that you
That
know that
what
all
Keith
I got to do is go in there, yeah,
Sweat. That what Keith
I
Sweat
know,
told. It's a right
yeah,
and a wrong way.
it is. And you know what? I'm so very grateful that we've learned in this business and we can show people how to do it the right way and still get the positive results, which is more money to
Right.
be able to do. But here's the thing: a lot of people don't know that if you, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't know nobody that want to cut off more money, especially if you're not doing it the right way, right?
Right.
Hey,
Right.
this money feel too good. I'm gonna let it ride. Next thing you know, you January, you July, you August, and you didn't left it like it was, getting all that extra money that you thought you was getting. And now Uncle Sam said, "Hey, we saw that you adjusted your W-4. That's great,
Mhm.
but you still owe me. How about $5,000 worth of money that you should have been paying?"
Right.
Right. So we
Right.
showing
'Cause
you. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like you said, it's a strategy, but this is not something you want to do half informed. You need to make an informed decision, meaning the consequences either way. Now, a lot of times the people who tell you, because people told me to do it, I think I did do it when I some years ago. I went in and because I was late bloomer with the kids, so for the most part, I usually didn't have any allowances unless I count myself. So somebody had told me, go and put 5 on the thing. And then halfway through the year, just go back and change it. And I didn't understand what that meant. All I knew is they told me I was going to bring home more money. But nobody explained the consequences. I'm in my 20s. This before the internet we really took off. So I couldn't Google, just go, and I did it. And I forgot to flip it back in
Yeah,
July. And,
yeah.
and like you said,
Woo.
when I went and I never understood how taxes work, I'm not ashamed to say it. I didn't go to school for economics. I didn't
Right,
go to school to learn, and they didn't. I took an economics class, but
right.
they didn't teach me this basic stuff that
Hmm.
I learned about taxes. Because I would go to get my taxes done. They give you the checklist, all the stuff they want you to bring and fill out the information. And I'm sitting there in the waiting room like back in the day when the men could go in the delivery room and the one was having the baby. I'm sitting in the waiting room, fingers crossed, praying, Lord, please do this. Because I didn't know how they came to the conclusion. I'm like, I
Hmm.
know it got to be some type of formula to it, but
Right.
I never was invested enough to
Hmm.
find out what it was. So I'm around here, 20s, 30s. I started this business when I was 41. Up until 41, I ain't had no idea how they decide whether you're gonna get a refund or you're gonna get a bill. And
Right.
unfortunately, most of the time I got a bill.
Yep.
And we talked about this Tuesday. I would say to my taxpayer, what can I do? And they would always tell me, well, you can have them take more money out of your check. Or you can have a baby, or you can buy a house.
Hmm.
I'm not doing. I guess I'll be taking more money out of my check because that's
Right.
the only
Right.
thing I can think of to do. But
Yeah.
they never went over the other options, of
Hmm.
how you could start a business. So I said, and see, I almost did it again. I started off one place and I had to work way around this. So the whole point of me telling the story. Okay, so I'm updating my uh, uh what is it called?
W-4.
Now the annual
Oh,
sign up.
enrollment. Your
Yeah.
enrollment.
Okay. So I'm looking at my open enrollment, and of course I go in and see how much the premium went up, and all of that stuff. Now before, that would have been as far as I went, but because I learned about home-based business, and I've learned about what all goes into lowering your taxable income, I was able to look at, now not everybody does this, and I stayed away from it for a long time because a lot of y'all might be like me. If I don't understand something, I don't fool with it. So I remember hearing about flexible spending accounts, FSAs, HSAs, and I was getting the round the way answers. I wasn't asking the people who could tell me. I'm asking coworkers who got about much knowledge of this stuff as I do. And they tell
Right.
me, well, you can do a flexible spending account, but if you don't use all the money by the end of the year,
Lose
you're gonna lose it. All I had to hear was lose. I ain't fooling with that. I
Yeah.
ain't fooling with that. Uh, and then they were saying, you could only use it for medical stuff. Well, I'm like, do it have to be like when I go to the hospital? Why am I talking to my coworkers who,
Right.
number one, don't have a
Don't know.
flexible account,
Right.
and it's advising me on what to do with mine? So I
Yeah.
let it alone. And then, they came out with the HSA. So I'm like, what's the difference between an HSA and an FSA? I didn't know that. So now, after being in this business, I understand how it works. When you are getting your paycheck, this is another story I told in one of my financial story times. I never saw the point of getting a 401k if they didn't at least match what I was putting in. Because I would be sitting there saying, well, if all that's gonna go in it is what I put in, that ain't nothing but a savings account. What's the point? And
Right.
I wasn't getting the big picture that the HSA, the 401k, those things are pre-tax. So with those being pre-tax, what they're doing is lowering your taxable income, which is your goal. You can run around and brag that you make six figures all day long, but if you don't understand how you're being taxed, if anything, I want to brag that I have lowered my taxable income down to four figures. There are a lot of, I think you mentioned this the other night, you got a lot of millionaires that don't have to pay taxes at all. We've all talked about the story. I can't never remember his name. What the rich man name who paid less taxes than his secretary?
I
He
I can't
he
remember the
like,
name either.
I think he's from Nebraska. He like 100 and some years old by now. But
Yeah.
anyway, he one of the richest men in the world, and he was looking at he heard his secretary talking about how much she has to pay in taxes. So he actually compared what his tax bill was, which was nothing because he is a business owner and he knows how to write off all those deductions. And they are legitimate deductions because he has a business. But his secretary was a W-4 employee. So unless she told him to take out more or less, even if she told him to take out more, if she didn't have the deductions, she still was going to end up paying. So that's when it came out that he was paying less in taxes than the
That she
people who
was.
weren't paying.
Right.
So you can be making minimum wage and bringing home more money than me if I'm not doing my taxes correctly and I'm overpaying. And it is legitimate to have. I have friends that like one of my oldest friends in Birmingham, we started working together. I was her supervisor. She always had more money than me. It's been a couple of times I done got in a jam and was like, look, can you loan me? And she looked at me like, helper, you over me. I'm
Right.
like, but she was better with money than I was. And see, whether she knew it or not, she understood the strategies better than I did. Because
Right.
all I was looking at is what they write down on this piece of paper of what you gonna pay me. What you gonna pay me and what I'm gonna take home.
Right.
There was two
Two
different
different
things.
things.
And I
Right.
didn't know how to correlate or maneuver through it. So this time when I got ready to do my of course it went up a couple of dollars. But with the knowledge I got now, I'm like, you know what? I'm finna increase. how much I put into my 401k, and I'm finna increase what I put in my health savings account because I still have access to the money. Of course, with 401k, I won't have access to it until I retire. But with the HSA, whatever I got to do medical wise that the insurance doesn't cover, I can just swipe that card. So it's a win-win because it's lowering my taxable income, but at the same time, I'm not compiling this big healthcare bill. Because these days insurance ain't what it used to be. It used to be
Right.
all you had to worry about was a copay. Now you got deductibles to look at and all that stuff. And when I first found out about deductibles, I was like, you mean to tell me the insurance don't kick in until I
Mm,
spend my own
mm,
money? But see, if you got that HSA card and you swiping with that, you're spending your own money, but it's pre-tax.
right.
So, that's one of the advantages of understanding, that's just understanding taxes, period. But then when you throw in the layer of having a business, how did that change? How did those deductions change things for you, Tom?
You know what? I think that our business it's kind of like it's kind of hard to explain to people. It's like when you got a employee mentality, you can't think as a business owner. It's like this
Yeah,
is what they train you to be as an employee. And until you can switch gears and change your mindset to what wealthy people do and what business owners do, it's kind of hard. That's why it's like I've been working for the who going to listen to somebody that's been 25 years, working a job. That's all
right,
that they see, Tony the employee. They'll never see Tony the business owner until I probably leave one day. Now everybody
yeah,
want to know, what did you do? How did you get out? But I'm sharing this knowledge now. I'm not where I want to be
right,
financially, as far as having the investment money and all, but I'm using the principles. If you don't even start now, you'll never get out ahead of time because they got you pegged out for the next 30, 40 years to use your
right,
body for whatever they need. So, like, I know it's easy for me to say deductions lower my taxable income and put more money back in my pocket. But how do you make other people understand, somebody that worked all their life, that all they know is punch the clock, get a check, go home, pay some bills, and do the cycle all over again? It's like if you don't do it, you ain't gonna understand it. So it's
and
really hard to explain the,
yeah,
the the benefits if you don't go through it. If you don't do it, you'll never really understand. Just like when people join myEcon. Here's a prime example. People join and say, "Oh, it's just $10. Let me go ahead and join," and then they find out that the W-4 adjustment don't help them because I'm already filed an exempt.
right,
Now, if there's no money to pull from your check, right? That's
right,
one of the reasons people quit. And then the second reason is they never really understood what tax deductions can do to lower their taxes and put more money back. So they thinking, oh, I can't spend $40 to learn that because I already ain't got no money. So you
right.
kind of put yourself in a barrel and you might well, or in a hole, and you can kick dirt over on top of you after that. So you'll never want to get to being a business owner because you're not taking the time to really fully understand what a business owner, how they can benefit from the tax system.
And that's a good point, and I'm glad you said that about people, quitting because here's the thing, it is about mentality. One of the first things I heard when I got into this business, mind you, when I first got in, I was green. I didn't really know what was going on. All I knew is Tony promised me if I stayed with this, it was gonna make sense, and
Mhm.
I consider myself having some sense. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see what it do. But it took a minute to change my mindset because we have been conditioned. It's by design that just like you described it, we're supposed to grow up, go to school, possibly get a secondary education at a college, get married, buy a house, work for a company for 30 years until you can retire, and that's it. And it's been done that way so long that that's the norm. And then when people start talking to you about something this crazy idea we got that you can have your own business. They looking at you like, we can't do that. And you know, the one thing that I hate to hear, oh, that ain't for us. Like, what you mean by us? People who wear golden lock hair, people who live in Madison. What us category are you throwing me in? Because I hate to hear that. And then they start with the rich always gonna get richer, and we're gonna stay poor. That is a mindset. That is a mindset. And that mindset is advantageous for whoever you're working for. Because it's like you were talking about with the bread and circus. You know? And the people that you're working for, they're gonna dabble that 2% raise on you. And then they're gonna raise your deductible and your copay, your premium on your insurance, and you're gonna be sitting there with a sense of, well, I just got a raise. Technically, it was a wash because the raise you got is gone because of that. But if you have a home-based business, and a lot of you, especially, that's why I'm so big about promoting this on YouTube. A lot of you have a business already because you have a successful YouTube channel that's making a profit. You get a 1099, but are you getting everything that's due to you? I mean, aside from the views, the AdSense check, any Cash App, super chats you get, there is a whole load of deductions that are there just because you have a business. And the good part of it, for me anyway, is whether your business is prosperous, meaning I have a huge team under me, or it's like it is, and I don't have a huge team under me. I'm still entitled to those same deductions. And those deductions are really another stream of income. The deductions, the business, and that's why we're promoting this whole try it for 30 days. Because if you're able to get started for $9.99, and Tony and I, like we said, we have coupons. You want to get started, you can start for free. We will send you a coupon to enter when you get started, and you're literally starting for nothing. That gives you an opportunity. I know your mindset is not going to change overnight. Because like I said, when I first got in, I had no idea what I was doing. It didn't make, I was still learning. But to be able to go in and look and see what we're talking about for free for 30 days, there is so much training information in there and things that you would never even think to ask questions about because you don't know about it, that you can listen. When I first started, I have a job where I work from home. I would put my headphones on. I would go to those training videos, and I would just work and let them play. Because you know what? If I wasn't doing that, I would be working and listening to music, or I would be working and, well, I ain't never been one that's been able to watch TV while I work, but I might be working and have YouTube on, listening to some, less productive stuff. But it was just that easy. Or like if you got a job, I know Tony, your commute used to be a little longer, like 45 minutes or so, right?
Ooh, I'm glad you said that. That's a great idea. You talked about YouTube and how people don't realize they're using a lot of stuff for their content. It's just like our business really is kind of designed to help like employees as well. A job ain't free. We know that. People don't realize that, I just thought about it last week. I on my way to work, I had to stop and fill up my truck. I got a F-250 diesel. It takes $130 to fill it up on diesel. Then I get to work. I ain't brought no lunch. So inside of the lunchroom, I'm spending $10. Then I'm walking by the Honey Bun snack machine every day. Cokes done went up. They $1.50, $2. And I'm thinking, okay, I done spent $150 today.
Just to go to work.
Just to go to work. So a job ain't free. So my thing is this. People think and look at the enrollment is $10 and let's say it's $40 a month to solidify you to be a business owner. Do you not realize that your job is going to pay you what it's going to pay you? But your business is going to give you deductions on top of savings, on top of products at discount rates, and you get to be able to create unlimited income with just sharing the information. So your job, to me, if you do a job and a business, I'm like, the job is starting to look bad now because I'm topped out. I ain't making no more money in my job. I'm actually losing money just going
Right.
to work every day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Because going
business,
to work and got more expensive than when you started 20 years ago, right?
absolutely.
And that's just getting there and being there. Because when you said that about the machine, I remember when I first started working, you might have paid 50 cents or 75 cents for a canned drink. Now you got to damn near have a credit card to go to the vending machine because I have a serious Diet Mountain Dew habit. I need my green. I didn't watch the price when I was working in the office. I watched the price go from 75 cents for a 20 ounce to $1 to $1.25 to
The dollar.
$1.75. I'm
Yeah.
scared to go in there and look now.
Oh, they'll give you a deal if you buy two for $5. You winning.
Right. Right. And then, it depending on where you work, they'll have it so that you can have the automatic deduction, like you were talking about cafeteria. When I worked in the hospital, you can have it automatically deducted, and it almost feels like you're eating for free, but you're not eating for free because every time they type that number in,
Yeah.
that's coming off
Right.
your paycheck. But at the
Absolutely.
time, you're not thinking about it. So, it's such a mindset. And then so many people have drilled it into their own head that it's nothing you can do about it. And it's funny because Naya and I and she gets so sick of me. Because every time we go through a fast food line, I was fussing because we had gone to Burger King. And I get her the kids' meal size stuff because she ain't eating a whole lot anyway. And I said, she said, well, Mom, can I get a drink? I said, give me a kid size Sprite. Do you know that was $2.25? So I'm in the car driving home. I'm like, that damn cup ain't even cost 50 cents. And I said, they're getting the drink in a bag and can pour out as much as they want. They just taking our money. So she's heard this so much. And then I'm like, well, I ain't nothing I can do about what they do. So I might as well complain about it. And she was like, well, I was about to tell you, Tommy, I said, that is why we got to make this home-based business thing work. Right. Because if we depend on how things go in the world, especially the way they want it to go, somebody always gonna have their foot on your neck. You got to have additional strategies. You got to have ways to counter inflation.
Right.
And inflation right now is the biggest butt kicker because I'm just like
it's eating everybody's paycheck up. I've heard some six-figure earners talking about, man, I can't hardly eat. The gas prices going up, medical expenses. So even when you making good money, you're going to feel it. So you got to have some other streams of income coming in, no doubt.
You have to. That's why when they start talking about everybody can't do it, I'm like, shit, me, I can do it. The government said I can try.
Right. That's right.
Now, what you do with it, like I was saying before, just because you get paid, or even if you don't pay the $9.95, if we gift you and you start for free, just because we do that, don't think, bada bing, this big bag of money is gonna fall in your lap. That's not how it works. This whole information that you're getting is for you to train yourself and hopefully, like we're trying to do now, do some networking and train other people because I want to see everybody win.
Yeah.
If whether you sign up and you don't stay or not, I've done my due diligence because I've introduced you to something that if you decide that is worth your time and you want your money, because I want mine. That's why I'm still here.
Right.
So don't think all you got to do is, okay, I paid the money. When I'm going to start getting my money? Now it's time for you to really start getting in there and digging in and learning and getting your strategies together, getting your credit together. You got access to everything. But this system is not going to come and open up the top of your head and pour it in your brain. Right. You still have to listen, learn, and execute. What is it you say all the time? Execute.
Execute. So hey, look. So So what Melissa's talking about is that you don't have to recruit to get those results, like fixing your
Right.
W-4, increasing your credit score. But what I like is the building mechanism that's built inside of myEcon, where we talk about leverage income. That's what most companies do. They leverage you, the employee, to profit. So myEcon is no different. It is a business inside of a business. So
Right.
when you share what we have with other people, the company compensates you, not you
Right.
paying me. It's the
Right.
company compensates us for sharing and making this thing worldwide. So I think I already know we got something special because we're showing people how to control the money that they're currently making on. It don't matter what level you on. You could be making 20,000 a year up to 200,000 a year. The strategies work the same. So
Right.
yeah, this is what we do. The company's gonna compensate you. It's people making good money. I'm talking about 6, 7 figures from
Right.
home. Some people are firing their bosses or walking away from a job because they have enough money set aside that they can get the same amount of money that it would take going to a job. So I'm
And
thinking, why not merge the two together?
And you know what's so great? I see young people doing it. When I see the Javier's and the CJs and
Yeah,
there
CJ and
there are
yeah,
people under 30 who found out about this business. They all, y'all already them little techie geeky
taking geeky.
millennials anyway.
Right,
So
right.
for them, getting the word out, all I gotta do is make a post. I just
Yeah,
gotta share stuff. So they really got into it, and these kids, and I ain't no hater. Now I put it like this: I wish I had whatever they got that sparked in them, and it took off because some of these folks went to 6 figures, and they ain't looked at no job in since they started, but they
yeah.
get it, and I'm so proud of them because I didn't get it till I turned 40. Man, if I had got this when I was in my 20s, I'd be dangerous right now. I
You
probably
know,
wouldn't even talk to you, Tom. I'd
I
probably
know.
be like,
Who?
you ain't
Excuse
in my salary range, sir.
well, you know what, when you talked about some of the younger people, here's how what would happen to somebody that doesn't know about myEcon. Somebody that worked at McDonald's and got
Mm-hmm,
2 or 3 kids, no college. They're
mm-hmm,
not supposed to be on nobody's stage talking about no 6, 7 figure earners. But we have. I mean, we got stories of people, young folks that was literally flipping burgers and
right.
flipping
Met a,
fries
met a
with
couple of
a
them.
child. Yeah,
Met a couple of them back in
yeah,
June when we had
several.
our meeting.
Yeah,
They up there on the stage talking to us old folks, trying to help us get it together. And like I said, I ain't
yeah,
hating. I'm sitting there taking notes.
yeah, yeah. So I'm excited to know that somebody that don't have to have a college degree, don't have to
Right.
have no experience, and coming from a janitor service or just a flipping burgers or bagging groceries, man, it can be a 6, 7 figure earner. It's like, man, we are choosing how we make
Yeah,
our money. And the option
exactly.
is to make more is to become an entrepreneur or home-based business owner in networking.
Yeah, because like Tony was saying, I have a college degree. I'm also the same person that was sitting out in the waiting room at the tax office doing this because I didn't know how to calculate my
Yeah.
taxes. So, what good does a college degree do you if it's not in learning this information here? So, don't let that be self-limiting. You know, people ain't never stepped a day in school, but understands the strategy and can put it to work. Those are the ones that are successful.
Yeah.
And only
Let's talk
thing
about
is, mhm,
this too. Like it's so many people that actually join this business and then they'll get to their tax preparer. And we've seen a bunch of
mhm,
people that do this. And I can tell you, if you don't know how this business works, a tax preparer will turn you away from it. And
right,
some of them have legitimate reasons why, because you're not properly keeping your records. They
right,
thinking you have a hobby when you don't know what you do. When you go to a tax preparer, you don't have any information put inside of the system. You hadn't took the time to learn what you have. A tax preparer will say, hey, I can't do your taxes. We ain't gonna even do that. We'll do it the regular way, and you're gonna lose some stuff and lose faith in the business as well. But you got to get
Exactly.
grounded in the business so you can understand how it works to be able to talk to a tax preparer.
Yeah, because one thing I learned early on is all tax preparers are not created equally. Now, truth be told, me and Tony, and I was telling him the other night, when we first did it and got our little certificate to that we could prepare taxes, I was like, look, man, don't be on Facebook telling everybody this, because I'm not no tax preparer. I just wanted the knowledge about it.
Yeah,
so
me too.
imagine you got somebody like me, and you bringing me your tax information. I'm looking at you like, and you know they got that little thing that, you know, if I'm preparing it for you and I mess it up, we both can go to jail.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? No, you can't claim it. You can't do that. we gonna play it safe. And then you come back looking at our video and like, I knew them darn folks didn't know what they were talking about. But luckily when I did get started in the business, my tax preparer, her business was at her home. So she was a home-based business owner. So everything that I was telling her about myEcon, she was like, you know what, that's good. And I'm thinking, when you was right here 5 years ago telling me to have a baby and buy a house, why you ain't tell me about this? But she didn't find anything that was, you know, improper or illegal about what I was doing. As long as I had my proof and my record keeping, and, you know, the great thing about this business, they follow the blueprint and the guidelines of the IRS.
You said something key right there, Melissa. There's not too many businesses like myEcon that has a platform for you to become a business owner, and it gives you step by step by step. So I've been audited a couple of times, and with the systems that we have in myEcon, which is a cash flow manager, can you pull it up? Let's see if you can pull it up right there.
Yeah. Let me see.
So look, this cash flow manager right here comes with the membership. And when I got audited, all I had to do was just pull up my records for the auditor to take a look at them. And he was really impressed with, because it has specific what an auditor would ask: who, what, when, and where, and what it's about. So all the information that you put inside this cash flow manager, it audit proofs your business. So if you get audited, man, I went in there with my chest out saying, I know I'm good because the company has taught me how to do it the right way. So when you confident in what you do, can't nobody shake you. That's God confidence.
Right.
When you know what you're doing and you're doing it the right way, then you don't have no issue. That's why I say, if I go to a tax preparer and I've been doing my business by the IRS publications, they teach on it like every day, every weekend. And if I don't plug into that, that's on me, because the information is there. So I'm just saying, if you want to get grounded in this company, learn all you can. So when you go to a tax preparer, you can have a legitimate conversation that, hey, I've been conducting business and here are my records. Where do we go from here now? If you can't, if that tax preparer can't do that, it's time for you to get all your stuff up and go find somebody else.
Right. And that's the key part, Tony. You had all of your stuff. Now, myEcon is going to give you all the tools, but it's up to you to do what? What's your phrase? Execute. You know, it's like you can have, like myself, you can have all the great kitchen gadgets and everything, but if you don't never go in there and cook, having all this stuff ain't gonna do you no good.
Right.
You can go out by top of the line, everything, but at some point you got to get in and do what you're supposed to do to get those end results. Nobody can do that part for you but you.
Right. So, hey, look, so that's a standalone product, y'all. Right now, you're just looking at what it looks like. It's a mobile device. You can get it on your cell phone. It's always with you. You can download it
Always.
from a tablet, but that's the price for all business owners out there. We sell it as a standalone product, and we recommend if you don't have this mobile check, what you call it, receipt taker or whatever you want to call it, to
Capture your receipts.
capture your receipts. Here, right now they're doing it. It's a free service for 7 days, and it's only $10.95 a month. Which, of course, we can write it off as a taxable expense.
And then I know a lot of y'all probably thinking, well, it ain't done that. I can take a picture of the receipt with my own phone. Yeah, you can do that. But is that going to link it back to whatever to make sure you got the who, what, when, where, and why? Because at the end of the year, if you haven't tracked all that, all you got is a phone full of pictures of receipts.
Yeah.
But you don't have, the date and the amount might be on there, but are you really gonna know what each and every one of those things are for? With this cash flow manager, when we take that picture and hit that button right there on the spot, we can fill in who, what, when, where, and why. And we're done. Now, if you don't want to fill it in right then, it will save it and you can fill it in later. But take it from me. Go on, put that stuff in there then, and it won't pile up on you. Because, like I said, the thing about all of this is all we can do is introduce you to the strategies. It's up to you to execute and put that stuff to work. So when it doesn't work because you didn't invest in it enough to find out what you need to do to win, you can't get mad. You didn't look into it and put the work in. The founders of the company did the hard part. They got all of it together and put it in a neat little bow and put it in a box. Put it in a box with a neat little bow on it. Now it's up to you to open the box, go through it, and see what applies to you, what doesn't. Figure out what strategies you should be using, stuff that you should stop doing, how you can improve your credit, investment information, learn about HSAs and FSAs, all of that. So I think this was a good session, Tony. I'm not gonna keep talking because, like I said, if we go over an hour, I can't upload it to Instagram. So I try to keep it under an hour. But it's like when you start talking about it, all the good stuff come up, and it's hard for me to stop talking.
So good.
So once again, we're gonna put out there a call of action. If you are interested in becoming a home-based business owner with us, that me and Tony are available on. I think right now we're streaming from his YouTube page. So YouTube, we both have IG pages. He all over TikTok. I'm on TikTok, not on TikTok as much as he do. We're on Facebook. Reach out to Melissa King or Tony Clopton. If you type in our names and myEcon, I guarantee you we're gonna pop up. So reach out to us, send us a message, tell us you want to get started, you're interested in starting your business, you want to see what it's about, you want to take advantage of the free, whatever you want to do. It all starts with you reaching out to us first. And like he said, we do have coupons. He didn't actually bought his. I'm not gonna buy mine until somebody tell me they ready. He didn't fast-tailed up and bought 15 already. I choose a different strategy.
Okay, that's cool.
But like you said, if you are interested and I can gift it to you, I will help you get started today. He will help you get started today. It's a great company. It's great information. The best thing about it, if you have children, even if you don't, you can help create some generational wealth by teaching them stuff that we weren't taught. Because I learned all of this, like I said, when I was 40, which means I ain't learned it growing up. I learned the basics growing up. Like we said, go to school, get a job, pay your bills on time. That's what I learned. So if you're interested, reach out to us. Otherwise, we will see you guys back on Tuesday. And yep, we're going to be talking about the same thing. Because this is what we do. This is our home-based business, and this is how we get our, tax deduction. So if you don't want to listen, I'm sorry, but we're going to be saying the same thing. Am I right, Tony?
That's right.
We speak. It's like we gonna myEcon you to death. No, let me change that. We're gonna myEcon you out of debt.
Out of debt. There you go. There you go. I like that.
We're gonna myEcon you out of debt. So thank y'all for joining us. I'm gonna hook up this outro. Hopefully y'all will be back Tuesday. We're sharing this on Facebook. I'm about to upload it to Instagram, and we're on YouTube. If you're catching the replay, please hit a like, share it, subscribe, all that good stuff there.
All right.
And thank you for coming through with me, Tony.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely.
My guru. All right, y'all. We out of here.
Thank you for being a part of the conversation. Now, are you ready to start your home-based business? If your answer is yes, contact Tony or Melissa to get started today.